What is going on, guys? We have an interesting piece of breaking news. It appears that Dan Crenshaw is a bit of a sleazeball. I know, right? Who would have known? Apparently, he decided to buy some stock last year while they were negotiating the COVID relief bill during the crash, and he decided not to disclose it at all, which happens to be very, very illegal. We'll go through the story here, but I think I pretty much know why he decided not to disclose it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, here's the story. Representative Dan Crenshaw decided pandemic was the perfect time to buy and not disclose stocks. Representative Dan Crenshaw did not buy or sell any stock in his first 13 months as a congressman. That changed in March 2020 when he made a half dozen buys as the largest economic relief package in history was written and debated. 5 of those purchases came in the 3 days between March 25th and 27th, as the Senate and House voted on the CARES Act and former President Trump signed it into law. Crenshaw, who supported the bill, did not initially disclose the transaction in violation of the Stock Act, a law that requires members of Congress to tell the public when they engage in securities trades. Months later, he amended the records to reflect the purchases. Now, I don't think I need to tell you how many levels of shady that is. At that point, the market had crashed, and you're in negotiations. You're in the room when the bill is getting negotiated. The market is waiting on news of a relief bill so it can shoot back up. And it did shoot back up once the COVID relief package was signed. You're sitting in the room negotiating it, and you're not going to disclose that you were buying stocks, especially even with some of the other scandals. A lot of those people had bought stocks in the past, but Dan, as it says here, hadn't been buying any stocks, wasn't a frequent trader, and he decides right during the COVID negotiations, he's going to go out and he's going to make some trades. Now, I don't think politicians should be allowed to trade single securities. I don't mind if they invest in index funds. I mean, it's legal as of right now, even though it shouldn't be. But not disclosing it, man, that seems pretty shady. It's almost like you knew you were doing something wrong. It's not like you had an election coming up. But anyway, we'll read on. The trades, which are listed only in a range of values, add up to a maximum of 120,000. I believe the range is between 30,000 and 120. We don't know the exact amount. Even though these amounts aren't as much as the other people, you got to remember, Dan Crenshaw's only been in politics for a couple years, and I don't think he had a lot of money before, so he's not rolling in the dough yet like those other guys are. Now, if he keeps this up, apparently he will be. If you get to just trade stocks off information that you know, you probably will make a bunch of money, which is how a lot of these congressmen and senators, it's how they get their money, is playing the stock market and basically front running, because I don't care what anybody says, that's exactly what they do. I don't want to hear financial advisor, any of this stuff. They front run the market because they get to make the policies that dictate which way the market goes. Anyway, and do not compare in size or volume to the kinds of headline-grabbing transactions executed ahead of the pandemic by Senators Loeffler and David Perdue. They only appeared in December when Crenshaw amended his annual report originally submitted in August. Now, that's another thing. Like, do you really think this guy didn't know? I just forgot it. It simply blew my mind. Let's see, December. He amended them in December, like after the election. Like, that's what this was about, 100%. I don't know if he's made a statement about this, because this story just came out about an hour ago as I'm filming this, and I don't know if he's made a statement about it yet. But whatever he says, the reason he didn't show this stuff is because he wanted to win the election. And it's really, really hard to say, oh, I'm a hard-working Republican, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, when you're just sitting there front-running the stock market. But anyway, the timing, however, along with Crenshaw's own trading history and connections to the industry, raises questions about why he made the purchase and failed twice to disclose them. Members of Congress should not be actively trading securities in the middle of the crisis. Yeah, I agree with that. It shows that when the market crashes, that person is thinking about themselves and using the volatility to their own advantage. True, I agree with this guy, said Ben Edwards, securities law expert and professor at William S. Boyd School of Law at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. We all have a limited amount of attention, and if you've got an eye on your stock portfolio, then you're not giving the crisis or the American people the full attention they demand. Crenshaw, elected in 2018, had never traded individual stocks in office until the crisis struck. Seems convenient. While it's unclear why Crenshaw did not initially disclose the transactions, I don't know, feels pretty clear to me. They came as an increasing number of high-profile lawmakers were getting snared in an insider trading scandal. Except for the Amazon purchases, apparently one of the purchases was Amazon. All of Crenshaw's transactions came a week after ProPublica reported that Senator Richard Burr, North Carolina, had sold up to $1.72 million on the heels of the private coronavirus briefings on March 20th. The Daily Beast reported that Loeffler and her husband sold off 7 figures worth of stock following her first confidential briefings on the pandemic. Are all these people, like, I understand that the Democratic Party has plenty of corrupt people, but man, these people are on another level of corrupt. Like, you are in the room, private briefings on what direction we're going to take the country in during a catastrophic event. Policy set during the pandemic, during the start of the coronavirus, is going to affect our country for years and years to come. And these people that are just loaded with cash, especially people like Kelly Loeffler, who's worth like $500 million, their main thought going on is, got to sell this stock in this company and got to buy some in this company because it's going to the moon. But Dianne Feinstein was in there too, so screw her. I mean, any D or R, you're doing this kind of shit. You're shady as fuck, and you don't need to be in Congress making laws. Period. Anyway, back to Crenshaw. Crenshaw's name did not make it into those media reports, however, because he hadn't disclosed his purchases. Geez, wonder why. Again, the Stock Act, a 2012 law, and this is important, intended to deter federal election officials from trading stocks on insider knowledge, requires Congress to post all transactions within 45 days. A little late on that one, Dan. Not only did Crenshaw fail to disclose the transactions at the time, he didn't include them in his annual disclosure filed in August, and while the filing shows that Crenshaw holds new assets, the form also requires members to list the transactions, including the dates, which Crenshaw left blank. They only appeared when the Lone Star Republican filed an amendment annual report in December. And again, yeah, this guy is just absolutely corrupt. He's completely cringe, and this is just another example of these bullshit fake populism Republicans doing extremely shady shit. He knew exactly what he was doing. There's nothing people got more pissed about than members of Congress, instead of passing laws during the beginning of COVID, worrying about their stock portfolios. That was a huge deal and could have potentially lost him the election. So we know exactly what he did. There's no way he just forgot. I don't care if it was $30,000. I don't care if it was $120,000. It didn't just slip your mind, especially because he's not even using a financial advisor. He did this. Buying $30,000 worth of stock during the middle of a pandemic is not something one just forgets. So he needs to answer for this. This is absolute horse shit. But I mean, what can we say? Just another day with the GOP, the party of the working man. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of the story and let you know what I think about it. We'll probably hear from Crenshaw tomorrow, and he'll give us some kind of cringe, half-assed bullshit apology. But yeah, if you like the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, and if you can leave a comment, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you want to follow me on other platforms, links to everything are down below. Join the Discord because it's awesome. And yeah, if you like the content, make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. Otherwise, you will probably never get notified when I upload a video. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and peace.